Well, hey there, all you talking sports fans. I'm one of your hosts, Miles Shield. This is my co-host.
Andrew Volkman, everybody. How's it going?
Yeah. So it's episode 9, I believe, and we are post-draft and getting into the swing of things. So super exciting for football. Everyone knows where they're gonna be. A lot of undrafted guys have been signed, including Shiloh Sanders. He won't be the Sanders we'll be talking about on today's episode, but that does not matter. All right, we're going to get into it, but before we do that, let's tell you what we got today. Today we have predictions for this NFL season, including predictions on awards. We have the QAQB returning. And who knows what else we may have? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're gonna go with the flow in this episode. So starting off, we're gonna start right into the predictions. So for the first prediction I have, it's in the AFC North. I have the number 1 seed being the Baltimore Ravens, and I have one of their big performers, someone who's gonna make an impact, being the safeties. Kyle Hamilton and Malachi Starks. What do you got, Andrew, for the AFC North number 1?
I also have the Baltimore Ravens, and I think that I agree the safeties for the Ravens are going to make a humongous impact, and especially on that defense. I can't wait to see how Malachi Starks will develop in the NFL, and he's lining up alongside a great safety and another young cornerback in Nate Wiggins. I'm really excited to see those two go at it.
Yeah, and for the 2, 3, and 4, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers at 2, the Cincinnati Bengals at 3, and the Cleveland Browns at 4. For some of the impact players, I have Pittsburgh's DK Metcalf, wide receiver, obviously. I also have running back Caleb Johnson. I'm interested to see him, rookie out of Iowa, if he'll be anything important. For Cincinnati's impact player, I think it's got to be Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow can show that he really is that number 1 guy in the league, then, I think they may have a good season. For Cleveland, their impact performer, or at least the performer I'm interested in seeing, is Quinshon Judkins, Ohio State running back, just to see, can that run game become something? What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree with the Cleveland Browns pick. I'm interested to see how the running back room of the Browns will perform, especially without their franchise cornerstone for the last couple of years, Nick Chubb, not being with the team anymore. For the Steelers, I think that I'm going to watch DK Metcalf too to see how he performs as well. And then for the Bengals, I'm actually going to look at Trey Hendrickson because right now he's not currently been traded or signed to an extension. So I'm wondering what will happen with Trey Hendrickson and the Bengals. If the Bengals somehow have enough money left to get Trey Hendrickson on an extension, that'd be great for them. But with the amount of picks they put up in the draft on the defensive side, I think they can afford to lose Trey Hendrickson. But Trey Hendrickson is the guy I'm watching for over the course of the season.
Yeah. And moving on, we got the AFC South. For the number 1 team in the AFC South, I have the Houston Texans. Their impact performer to me will be defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who they got in a trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. Andrew?
Yeah, I agree with Texans going or being the first or the winner of the AFC South. My impact player, though, is definitely going to be a little bit interesting. I'm going to watch Joe Mixon this year on the Texans. I'm wondering to see how he'll do at the running back position because I think that offense needs to definitely step up for the Houston Texans this year.
Yeah, 100%. For the 2, 3, and 4 in the AFC South, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, and the Indianapolis Colts. That is right. I don't have the Titans being the worst team in football this year. For Indianapolis, their impact performer to me is going to be linebacker safety Hunter Wooler. I am super hyped on that guy. I'm telling you right now, it probably won't be this year, and it may not be next year. but we will know this guy's name. And it won't just be Muskego, Wisconsin, no. It will be everyone knows the name Hunter Wooler. I'm calling it out. Eventually, he will be on the show. I'm telling you that. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, Travis Hunter, cornerback, wide receiver. I think that's a no-brainer. And I actually got a chilled spicy situation about Travis Hunter. So that, if we have time, we may be hearing that. For the Tennessee Titans, their impact players will be their veteran wide receivers, Tyler Lockett and Calvin Ridley. Can these guys prove, that they're still relevant in this fast-growing league and can really give Cam Ward the receivers to, maybe get him a chance to be Rookie of the Year? Andrew?
Yeah, I definitely think those are all pretty valid picks for impact players. I do have one difference in my AFC South standings. I do have the Colts being in third place in the division over the Titans. I just really think the Titans are going to take a couple years before they're going to be competitive. I honestly think that it may be 2 years before they even try to start climbing the standings. For my impact players, they're all pretty much the same, except for the Colts. I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor to kind of reemerge as one of the top running backs in the league. Definitely had a down year last year, but I'm looking for him to bounce back. Wisconsin Badgers alumni, gotta love him. So I'm looking for Jonathan Taylor for the Colts.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see the AFC South being a very competitive division. And for the AFC East, I have the number one being Buffalo Bills. And Buffalo drafted my guy out of Arkansas, edge Landon Jackson. That is going to be the impact performer. I see a future Max Crosby in him. What are you thinking, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. Bills winning the division, and then Landon Jackson, gotta love him. I was really hoping the Packers would pick him up in the second round. Unfortunately, Bills scooped him up before us, and I think that he is going to make a humongous impact in Buffalo.
Definitely. And for my 2, 3, and 4, my number 2 is the New York Jets. I know everyone's counted them out. I know, no one thinks they're going to be anything. But I'm telling you, I am confident in this team. They brought in Armand Membu to give Justin Fields more protection. I think Justin Fields fits the Jets' offense so much better than Aaron Rodgers does. And I think he'll really unlock Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, the new guy, 20-year-old Tyler Mason, tight end out of LSU. His dad was a Miami Dolphin. He was a huge guy, Jason Taylor. For the next pick, I have at the third in the AFC East is the New England Patriots. And the fourth is the Miami Dolphins. The Patriots' impact player, to me, will be, actually, it has to be Drake May. Drake May has to take that step into the franchise quarterback position. And I think he has done a decent job his rookie year, but he really needs to take the next step in his career. And then for Miami, I think running back Ollie Gordon II, I'm confident that he will be a decent running back in this league. And, with Raheem Mostert gone, we'll see what happens. Andrew?
Yeah, definitely all some great picks there. I still actually do have the Dolphins finishing second in the division, then followed by the New York Jets and the New England Patriots. And you might be thinking, well, the Dolphins, where are they? They missed the playoffs last year. What are they going to do? Hear me out. Right now, that offense has so much firepower. It's insane. They got so many good weapons with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill still currently on the team. So, right now, Dolphins, I think, are the favorite to finish second in the division. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, though, because that defense and that offensive line, not so great. But I think that the Dolphins team, they're going to come close to competing for a wild card spot just based off that offense. I've been previously in the past more high on defense. I was looking at the Browns a couple years ago as possible winners of the AFC North solely because of their defense. and safe to say that didn't work out. So I'm going back full offense mode. I gotta love the Dolphins with all their weapons, and Mike McDaniel is a great head coach to lead a team like that.
Yeah, and the reason why I had the Dolphins at the bottom of the division with Tyreek Hill, all this stuff, the videos, like everything that's coming out about Tyreek Hill, I'm questioning his future with the team, his future in the league, his future as a star player. I think it's all up in the air, and who knows? In 3 years, could we see Quinn Ewers as the next, the Dolphins guy? I don't know. Who knows? But for the AFC West, the number one is obviously the Kansas City Chiefs, and their impact player, I think, is going to be their first round offensive lineman, Josh Simmons.
Sorry.
You're good, Andrew.
Sorry. Yeah, I agree. Chiefs going to be the winner of that division. I agree with that pick too as well. For the impact player, not much to say on the Chiefs other than can they rebound? I guess from a disappointing Super Bowl loss. I mean, there's just not much to say anymore about the Chiefs. Like, what else are they going to do, man? You got nothing to lose.
Yeah. And with my 2, 3, and 4, I actually think this is a really competitive division. And I think that there's a chance the Chiefs, if maybe the Chiefs don't compete like they did last year, that they could be overthrown as the number one in that division. For my 2, 3, and 4, I have the Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, what? The Chargers will not be at the bottom. This was really tough for me because I think all those teams are very talented. But I'm going to share with you, why I didn't have that. For my impact player, the Chargers guy's Ladd McConkey. I'm looking for him to take a next step. A little bit afraid he may have a sophomore slump, which is one of the reasons why I think the Chargers are going to be at the bottom of the division. And for the Denver Broncos, I think it has to be Bo Nix. He has to, again, take a step into that franchise quarterback position. I think he can do that. Hopefully no sophomore slump. For Las Vegas, I think it will be Ashton Jeanty, running back, and wide receiver Jack Bech. Now, the Raiders, I think, will come in as one of the most underrated teams in the league. Geno Smith, you get him with his old guy, Pete Carroll. That's where he's played his best football, is with Pete Carroll. Now you're giving him Brock Bowers, who I think is going to emerge as the number 1, number 2 best tight end in the league. You got Ashton Jeanty, who could emerge as arguably the best running back. No, actually, he's not going to he's not going to dethrone Saquon or Derrick Henry, but I do think we should have a top 5 running back in Ashton Jeanty. And, Jack Bech looking to step up, Jacoby Myers. You got guys who could be good on that team. Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. I do have a slight change. I do think the Chargers are going to finish third in the division and get a wild card spot out of any other team in any other division in the AFC. I do like the offense and defense a little bit more on the Chargers. I do think the Chargers are overall a weaker team compared to last year. But I do want to shout out another player, and this is on the Broncos. RJ Harvey, the running back that the Broncos selected, I believe the 3rd round. Mm-hmm. Is that right? I think he was in the 3rd round. I'm looking for him to step up big, and I know a 3rd round running back may not be the greatest thing or the flashiest thing ever, but I'm watching him and seeing how Sean Payton runs him, and we've seen it in the past with Sean Payton and Alvin Kamara. I mean, he's been able to get production out of some running backs, so I'm looking at RJ Harvey. And then Chargers, Omarion Hampton, running back out of UNC, looking for him to take fill the role that J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards had last year. Watch out for Omarion Hampton, who I think should have gone to the Broncos. I think the Broncos made a costly mistake by not picking up Omarion Hampton.
Yeah, and your audio's going all over the place right now, but we're going to go to the NFC, and for the NFC North, number 1, sadly, is going to be the Detroit Lions. I think their impact player will be DJ Reed, cornerback who they got from the Jets. Andrew, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. DJ Reed's going to do great things in Green Bay. We were all hoping as Packers fans that he would go to the Packers, or the Packers would pick him up, kind of like what they did last year with Xavier McKinney. That turned out not to be the case, but it's okay. I still believe that the Lions will win the division. Aiden Hutchinson coming back. I think the Lions are going to have a even better run than they did last year.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't see the NFC North being anywhere near as competitive as it was last year. But for number 2, 3, and 4, I got Green Bay Packers at 2, Minnesota Vikings at 3, and Chicago Bears at 4. For Minnesota's impact player, I think it could definitely be Jordan Mason, with Aaron Jones possibly not being able to stay on the field. This is where Jordan Mason can step up and try to prove himself as a number 1 running back. For Green Bay, I think Matthew Golden. If everyone in Green Bay is so hyped about Matthew Golden, I'm really hoping that he is a number 1 receiver. He is the guy. TheBomb.com is Matthew Golden. I want to see a rookie of the year season out of him. And then for Chicago, their impact player, I think it's got to be Colston Loveland. I didn't really understand the pick. You know, you got guys like Mason Taylor who you could have gotten later. Going Colston Loveland when you have Cole Kmet, I think, yeah, you had to take a tight end, but going a tight end that high, I don't know. But I still think he'll be an impact player. Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. And you talked about the Bears taking a tight end there. They picked Colston Loveland before Tyler Warren, and I'm just thinking, like, what? When I was watching the draft on TV here at home, I was scratching my head. I was like, oh my gosh, what did the Bears just do? The Bears still suck. They picked the wrong tight end. I think they picked the wrong tight end. Not to say that not to say Colston Loveland isn't a bad tight end. I think he's a really good tight end. The Bears could have just gotten someone that was so much better in Tyler Warren. I do believe that their impact player is going to be Colston Loveland as well. For the Vikings, I think J.J. McCarthy may come out of the gates really, really hot. It's just I don't think that he's going to lead the Vikings to a wild card spot. And for the Packers as well, Matthew Golden, I'm looking for him to make humongous impact on that offense. Give Jordan Love a number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah, I agree. For the NFC South, for my number 1, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm not 100% sold that the Buccaneers will get this. For their impact player, I have Hassan Reddick, D end. Andrew?
Yeah, I think the Buccaneers will take the crown of the NFC South. That division is so incredibly weak. It's incredible how weak that division is. For the Buccaneers, I think Bucky Irving is going to be their main impact player. He came on strong last year. I actually have a little pick about Bucky Irving for the awards, so stay tuned on that real quick. Right. I think Bucky Irving's going to have a humongous season for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, leading them to another division win.
Yeah. And for the Carolina Panthers, they are my number 2 team. I'm kind of excited for the future of the Carolina Panthers. I like the Carolina Panthers, me personally. I would like to see them in the playoffs, and there may be a chance they get a wild card spot with, maybe you see Terrell McMillan becomes an insane receiver. I don't know. For some reason, when I was at the draft, I got this gut feeling. Could Terrell McMillan be a bust? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to look so stupid in 4 years when he's the best receiver in the league. But I just got this gut feeling that there's a chance he may not be as good as we all think he is. But I think giving Bryce Young another receiver when Bryce Young's top receiver was good old Adam Thielen, who I'm a huge fan of, I don't know if he did enough with that run game, bringing in Rico Dowdle. So, maybe they won't be good, or maybe they will. For 3, I got the Atlanta Falcons, and 4, the New Orleans Saints. For Atlanta, their impact player, I think it's got to be James Pierce Jr. He has to prove that he is not only a good player on the field, but off the field. We all know that character was a question going into the draft, but he needs to prove that he was worth the first round pick that the Falcons gave up to get him. But the Falcons have to get defense, have to get pressure on the quarterback. For the New Orleans Saints, I have Tyler Shuck because I think he's going to end up being the starter for at least the first few games of the season with Derek Carr gone. Rattler, I don't think is going to take over. Jake Haener, I don't think is going to take over. I actually think Haener will end up getting cut. And then for the Carolina Panthers, I have Adam Thielen, Territote McMillan, and Jimmy Horn Jr. from Colorado. So that whole wide receiving group, they have to make Bryce Young look good. I like Jimmy Horn Jr. out of Colorado too. So hopefully Bryce Young will look pretty darn good. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. I'm a little surprised, honestly, by that Carolina Panthers finishing second in the division. I still think the Falcons are going to eke out that number 2 spot in that division. I think the Falcons are overall more well-rounded than the Panthers. They're not going to make a wild card run or anything, but
yeah,
the Falcons are going to definitely get second in the division, in my opinion. My impact player, James Pierce Jr. again. Drake London's another guy that I'm looking at. 5th-year option picked up for him. So watch out for Drake London. He's got something to prove this year. Carolina Panthers, that whole wide receiver core is weird, but I like it.
Yeah,
I think they're going to definitely be interesting to watch. And then for the Saints, Tyler Shuck is a good pick. I don't think that he's going to get the starting job right off the bat. I think that Spencer Rattler is probably going to lead the way for the first few games, at least. Who knows what's going to happen after that? I think that Tyler Shuck's a good player to watch.
Yeah, and going into the NFC East, for the number 1 team, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. Their impact player, to me, is going to be Cooper DeJean. Everyone was so hyped, especially after that Super Bowl performance from him. I'm looking for him to take a huge step in becoming a lockdown corner and proving every team that passed up on him wrong and dominating.
Yeah, good pick there. Good pick. I think that another guy that I'm going to look at the Eagles for is Nakobe Dean. Missed a lot of the playoffs last year due to injury. Didn't have particularly a great season. It wasn't bad, but wasn't great. So I'm looking at Nakobe Dean to bounce back a little bit. And for the Eagles getting number 1 in the division, Nakobe Dean is going to surely help them out a lot.
Yep. And for 2, 3, and 4, I have the Washington Commanders, the New York Giants, and last and definitely least, the Dallas Cowboys. For the Commanders' impact player, I think it's got to be Deebo Samuel. I think he can prove himself as a good receiving option for Jaden Daniels. I think he takes that Commanders team up a whole nother level. And I also have cornerback Trey Amos, who the Commanders drafted. I think I'm super high on him and think he could be very good. Dallas's impact player. Listen, I went the backup quarterback route here. Joe Milton III. Everyone knows Joe Milton's my guy. Jackson Dart's my guy. Like that's really big. But Joe Milton, I think he's gonna get at least 1 to 2 starts this season, just because Dak's not able to stay healthy. And if Dak sucks, hey, I think Jerry Jones really likes Joe Milton, so we could definitely see Joe Milton get some good playing time. And for the New York Giants, Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart are both going to be immediate impact players.
Yeah, I agree. I do have the Giants still finishing behind the Cowboys. Excuse me. I think the Cowboys are somehow going to bugger their way to a third place finish. Yeah, for the Cowboys, I'm looking at that running back room. It's an interesting one. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, both guys that had underperforming seasons this past year, and I look at both of them to lead a decent running back room for the Cowboys. I don't think they're going to do anything special, but I think we'll see them step up in a way that we haven't seen them with their old teams. For the Commanders, I'm looking at Brian Robinson Jr. to kind of step up, and he's kind of faded over the last couple of years, but I'm looking at him to bounce back, provide a solid running back option for the Commanders. And for the Giants, I'm going to look at Jackson Dart. Got to see how that quarterback room is going to shake out for the Giants. It's wacky, but it's not as wacky as the Browns. Let me tell you that. It's not as wacky as the Browns.
Yes, and for the last division, we get the NFC West. And for the number one team in the NFC West, surprisingly, the Seattle Seahawks. Andrew?
Whoa. That's a big one. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
For the West, I do have the Rams finishing first. I know you just said Seattle, so let's stick to Seattle for a second. I think that their impact player is going to probably be Sam Darnold. It's going to be weird in Seattle with Mike McDonald, Sam Darnold. It's going to be a weird year for Seattle, and I think it's bold of you to go out and say, "Oh, I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the division." I'm not quite sure about that. For the Rams, though, for me, Devontae Adams, I think is going to step up, and he's going to return to prime Devontae Adams, even though he's getting a little bit older. With Matthew Stafford, his old rival when Stafford was on the Lions, and then Devontae Adams was on the Packers. I think those two are going to form something that is going to be incredibly good, along with Puka Nacua.
Yeah,
that Rams team is going to be something special, at least on the offensive side.
Yeah, and speaking of Puka Nacua, his brother just got suspended in the UFL for an altercation with a fan, I believe. But staying on task, for the Seahawks impact player, I wrote new guys. So new guys would be Nick Emanwari, that safety. I think he's going to be absolutely insane. Sam Darnold, Elijah Arroyo, that is the Miami tight end. I couldn't believe he fell to the Seahawks. That's a great pick. Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp has a very good bounce back year with Sam Darnold as his quarterback. And then I also have Jalen Milroe. I know that's a bit of a shocker, but to me that's a very important pick for them because now, even though you did everything I think you possibly could draft-wise to surround your quarterback with the players to succeed, if Sam Darnold doesn't succeed, you have a second-round quarterback in Jalen Milroe who, just reading about some of his interviews, was insane. He was literally telling the teams, what he's bad at, what he's working on, because he knows he's not good at, right? So, and, when he was asked, hey, do you think that's maybe not a good thing to tell teams what you're not good at? He said no, because I'm working on it, and I want them to know that I'm willing to put the work in to make myself better. And to me, that really showed what pushed him. One of the reasons that pushed him over Shedeur Sanders, even after his bad end to his collegiate career. But I think Jalen Milroe could be the future for a team. It may not be the Seahawks ever. He may end up leaving at some point. But I'm excited to see what happens with Jalen Milroe. For my 2, 3, and 4, I have the San Francisco 49ers, the Los Angeles Rams, the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams, like you said, Devontae Adams is going to be the guy for the Rams. I think he's going to have a great season. And for the Arizona Cardinals, I think it's got to be Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan. He fell an insane amount. I wanted the Packers to trade up for him. They didn't. But I think he's going to prove everyone wrong with this injury and dominate the league. 49ers, I said, what the heck? I said QBs? Huh. Oh, I know what that means. Okay, so Brock Purdy, right? Trying to get a deal done. But hey, what if Curtis Rourke all of a sudden just comes out of nowhere, right? Like, what, 6th or 7th round pick? Curtis Rourke comes out of nowhere from Indiana. I mean, that would be pretty cool. And then former Wisconsin Badger Tanner Mordecai also on that team. So I don't know why I wrote that as my impact performer. That did not make sense at all. But yeah, that's my impact performer, the quarterback room, which is Curtis Rourke. So what do you got, Andrew?
Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to definitely take second in the division. I'm not really going to look at the quarterback room. I'm going to look more so on the defensive side. Nick Bosa, I think Nick Bosa is going to continue to stay locked, even though he kind of has a weird personality to me, not going to lie. I still think that Nick Bosa is going to be a humongous impact for the 49ers team. For the Seahawks, who I have finishing in third, I already said Sam Darnold. I also thought of Noah Fant. You even remember that guy?
Yes.
I don't know.
I know Noah Fant.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that he was still in the league, to be honest. But I think Noah Fant could contend for a tight end's role. And I think we'll see Noah Fant maybe elevate a tiny bit. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then for the Cardinals, Will Johnson, definitely the guy I'm looking out for. Also, Marvin Harrison Jr. No way he's that bad. No way he's that bad. For a 4th overall pick?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are going. We are 31 minutes in. Let's go straight to predictions for awards. MVP, Jaden Daniels. Andrew, who's your MVP?
I got Lamar Jackson. I think this year he got snuffed a little bit, but he's going to come back and he's going to take that MVP.
Yeah, and to me, I'm worried Jaden Daniels may have a drop-off in production, but I also reminded myself he now has Deebo Samuel. And he's got Laramie Tunsil from the Houston Texans as protecting him. I think that could elevate his gameplay to an MVP status. Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Andrew.
I got Bucky Irving.
Whoa.
He was one of my impact players. I told you guys, stay tuned. I told you guys to stay tuned when we got to the awards with Bucky Irving. Offensive Player of the Year, Bucky Irving. I know it's crazy, but I'm just putting it out there.
Hey, man, let's go. DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, comeback, baby. Even though you're on the Lions, I'm still a huge fan. Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year.
I got Fred Warner out of the 49ers. I know I'm going on with a lot of NFC guys here. Fred Warner, he was great last year, kind of popped up and started getting his recognition that he deserves. And I think this year he's going to continue that, be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. I got Offensive Rookie of the Year, running back Ashton Jeanty. I do not see a way that this guy is not a stud. Andrew.
I agree. Ashton Jeanty, he's way too good. Offensive Rookie of the Year, definitely a lock right now for Ashton Jeanty, unless he gets hurt.
Yeah. For Defensive Rookie of the Year, Edge Abdul Carter. I know that's kind of a poopy pick. We got both top 10 round 1 picks. But hey, Abdul Carter, he seems like a generational talent along with Ashton Jeanty. But my sleeper for that pick is Hunter Wooler. Don't count him out. Defensive Rookie of the Year, man. I'm telling you, do not count out Hunter Wooler. Andrew, who are you going?
Bro, the glazing of Hunter Wooler is crazy.
Huge fan. I'm just staring at the autographed jersey I have here. I'm staring at the autographed jersey I got, the autographed sign I got here, and I just keep thinking, hey, that guy is an Indianapolis Colt, and he's going to prove everyone wrong. Sports Illustrated said he's the underrated pick in this draft. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Hunter sometime, somewhere, someplace.
Okay. Yeah, I can't talk either. I can't talk because I got 100 jersey. Anyway, Abdul Carter, Defensive Rookie of the Year. There's no doubt. Maybe Will Johnson
Yeah.
could be a sneaky pick,
Yeah.
and Hunter Wooler too. I can't help but put his name in there.
There we go. The legend of Muskego. All right. Comeback player of the year, man. I'm telling you, this guy is going to get at least one vote for MVP. I'll tell you, ready for this? All right.
No, I'm not.
Quarterback of the New York Jets, Justin Fields. I'm telling you, he's going to have an insane year. He's going to get an MVP vote. He's gonna be good, man. Comeback player of the year, Justin Fields.
All right. I think that this is going to be a weird one because I don't think when you think of this guy, you don't think of him as winning a comeback player of the year. I got Aaron Rodgers win the comeback player of the year. It's a weird.
Oh man, Aaron Rodgers, the guy who's not on an NFL team right now.
Look, if the rumors are true and he's going to go to the Steelers, I think that we have a chance to see Aaron Rodgers put up something insane. Oh, hold on, I gotta check my.
You don't think Will Howard? You don't think Will Howard takes over for Aaron Rodgers? I don't even see Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna get hurt. Like even if he signs.
Aaron Rodgers had a healthy, solid season with the Jets. The Jets.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
Just suck. I don't have the Steelers winning or getting a wild card spot, which kind of weird to be honest. But you know what? I think that Rodgers is going to lead them to a 500 record, and it's going to be a good season from Aaron Rodgers.
Wow, that's insane. I mean, Justin Fields, man. I'm telling you, Justin Fields. So we got two former Jets quarterbacks. Actually, one's current. We got a guy from the Jets going to the Steelers, winning comeback player of the year, and then we got a guy from the Steelers going to the Jets, winning comeback player of the year. What a silly situation that is. For my coach of the year, I have Matt LaFleur.
Packers Glazer.
Hey,
I can't.
I think he's gonna be good. He should have won it that 1 year. Stefanski won it. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Browns. The stupidest thing I ever saw was seeing Browns Kevin Stefanski winning it. Yeah, okay, Joe Flacco took them there, but we had Jordan Love. We did it with the youngest team in the flipping NFL. All right, and he didn't win it. He's not getting snubbed again. It's gonna be Matt LaFleur.
Okay. I think Coach of the Year is going to go to Zach Taylor of the Bengals. I think that.
Interesting.
I think quite honestly, I don't think he's going to do anything crazy, but I have the Bengals getting the 5 seed.
Yeah.
And he has Joe Burrow on his team. So, I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, we don't even have time. We're out of time. So no QA/QB, no Shields spicy situation. But I do promise we will have that next episode, and we'll bring all that stuff up. I actually have a little announcement. At some point in the future, in the next few months, we are going to have former New York Giants tight end Travis Beckham. Former tight end Travis Beckham. He was a Wisconsin Badger, drafted 3rd round to the New York Giants. He won a Super Bowl. He will be on the show. And, I'm super excited for that. Hopefully, safety linebacker Hunter Wooler of the Indianapolis Colts, also a Badger alum, will also be on the show. Adam Schefter. Hey, I'm going to be emailing him, telling him he's got to come on the show, man. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's going on. Andrew, any last words before we wrap up?
I can just promise as well. In the next episode, we'll do a full recap of the Packers picks because that is 100% due. We need to go over the Packers, and I wanted to do a Brewers recap of the first month. We're not going to get to it today. I promise that next time the Brewers are going to be featured on this episode, but that's all we got.
So
for today,
sorry
folks.
this went so long, folks. I know we went 40 minutes. This may be our longest episode ever, and probably our boring one. But thank you for listening, everyone. See ya.
Bye.